Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just getting my grid together. Just getting my beautiful grid together. And my dice. And my glasses. Oh no, where's my glasses? What did I do with my glasses? What did I do with my glasses? Oh, I think I put them up here. Yep, sure did. There will be another heat wave today, guys. There's going to be another heat wave in the Caribbean. There's going to be another heat wave. It is mortifying, this heat, and it's April. And nothing should happen this early with the heat. My coffee tastes kind of weird, but I think it's the coffee brand that I bought. Let me see. Hi, Tiffany, sweetie. How are you? Hello, sweetie. Hi, Concrete Rose. Good morning. Good morning, all. I do want to tell you guys that, I think we've talked about this. All right, I have a little bit of a headache, and I think this headache is due to the eclipse. So, does anybody know when is the start of the eclipse? Eclipse, May 5th. Let's see. Lunar eclipse. Did it start an hour ago? What time? It looks like it's starting at 11 a.m. today. What do you guys know? 11:13 a.m. So, there's an unusual headache going on back there, and I don't suffer from headaches. So I know that to be lunar eclipse. It's called a penumbral lunar eclipse. It will peak at 1:24. It will end at 3:31. So remember, everyone, eclipse energy will spry inside of you. So be really conscious of your energy the whole day and yesterday and tomorrow and Sunday. Just relax. Just relax. This energy is kind of making me feel like down. Hi, Rhonda Williams. Good morning. Good morning, Dory and Mystical Misfits. Good morning, Ebony. Ebony goes, uh-oh. Well, if you know, you can organize, right? Isn't that the whole purpose of educating yourselves in this in these metaphysical streets? If you know, you won't act too crazy. You'll be like, oh, you're responding through the eclipse. Got it. We will discuss this later. I want to discuss this now. No, nope. We will discuss this later. So I do want to tell you guys that Temu, I don't know if I would buy shoes from them, right? I'm finding that their shoes or their sneakers, tennis shoes, some people call them, are not the best quality. I brought a pair of sandals right away. I could tell the sandals were not going to fit right away. I brought number 39, but to be honest with you, it may have been my fault because in sandals I wear a size 7. In shoes I wear a 7.5. But I chose a 7.5 and they're way too big for me. So, who's ever going to invest in Tamu? I don't know about everything, and I was not happy with the shoes. I tend to buy jewelry and stuff for my business, not necessarily, you know. I did buy 2 sneakers from them, but then once I put them on, um, it didn't feel 100% right. So I was like, okay, maybe. So then I tried the sandals, and then the sandals, I don't know. I would just say tread lightly with Temu, but it's also so cheap that you can't lose. But I would be very, very conscious about buying shoes from them because the shoes aren't cheap. You're not going to find shoes for $2. You're going to find shoes for $10, $20, and you really want those shoes to fit. So, y'all live in the States. If y'all live in the States, there's no reason to buy cheap shoes online. Go to Marshall's, which is what I intend to do when I go to California, and TJ Maxx, and stack up on sneakers. That's what I'm going to do. Yep. This month's full moon will be at its fullest at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's interesting because the eclipse will be at its fullest at 1:30 approximately also. Thank you for your information, sweetie. So the eclipse and the full moon are together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I slept all day yesterday. Anybody else felt sluggish yesterday? Oh no, I don't have my damn it, gotta get up again. I have my step stool to stretch my legs out because my legs stiffen up down here. Um, Anybody else felt sluggish yesterday? Good morning, happy Mother effing Friday, you all. I slept maybe 3 times yesterday and still went to bed at a decent time, like 11:30, and had no problem going to sleep. Had no problem staying asleep. I did wake up at 6 this morning, which I didn't mind because I've been sleeping all day and I slept through the night. Yes, sluggish. Yes, you slept through your alarm. That's not surprising. Yes. Yes, Alicia, all week. I know. I know. It's crazy. That was the eclipse energy. Today we have the eclipse full moon energy. I don't feel as sluggish today, but I don't know yet because sluggishness hits me like bricks. It's like all of a sudden down. But I don't feel that. Yesterday, right from jump, I felt sluggish, even though you couldn't tell. What's a penumbra? The moon will be passing through the southern part of the Earth's penumbra. Oh. And its uppermost edge will miss the touching the umbra by about 78 miles. So perhaps for about 45 minutes or so, centered on the time of the middle of the eclipse, which is about 1:20, those who know to look may be able to discern a vague grayish or brownish smudge or stain concentrated toward the moon's upper rim. The eclipse will be very visible from Eastern Asia, Indonesia, Australia, and southern New Zealand. But for these regions, the eclipse occurs after midnight. So for them, the calendar will be on May 6th. The eclipse should not be visible to us. They're calling this eclipse an underwhelming event unless you're metaphysical. If you're metaphysical, nothing is underwhelming compared to more dramatic celestial spectacles like the rare hybrid solar eclipse that took place April 20th. Now, the solar eclipse that we just had 2 weeks ago, I wasn't affected by. Uh-uh. And that was a solar eclipse, and it was a solar eclipse in Aries, and I still wasn't affected by it. Surprising for me. But the lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. My moon is in Scorpio. So I do expect for this to have put something on me. And for right now, I'm sluggish. Oh man, I was hoping to catch this guy this morning. Put a note on his car. So I'm a little perturbed, guys, but I'm actually wondering if I have a right to be perturbed. So remember back in December, one of my neighbors drove me to an event and three other people came, and he invited me first, and then the whole day he's like, you're going to be ready, you're going to be ready. And it wasn't a date, it was like to go to Carnival. But around here, Carnival lasts for 2 weeks, right? So this was the first adult night. So the first adult night was a big deal, right? And he's like, you're going to be ready, you're going to be ready. And then like an hour, 2 hours before, he was like, Tracey, are you ready? I'm like, yes, I'm gonna take my shower, I'll be ready. He's like, okay, I'll come back at 6 or 7, something like that, right? Because it was a nighttime event. And that's what I mean by adult. The adult carnival began at night. And so, but it went on for 2 weeks. But the first, and then it would be a week-long event at night for the adults, right? Carnival never ends. It's hilarious, right? Which I'm glad. Like, I don't care. I love it, but it's just really funny, right? And so he comes back because he was in the complex, he was by the pool, and he comes back and he goes, Tracey, I can't take you. And my heart broke. My heart dropped inside my stomach, right? And I was like, why? Thinking that his car broke down or something. And he goes, well, I was up by the pool and three others want to come with me. And at that point, I should have said no. I know in hindsight, I should have said no. But I don't, right? I say, but you asked me first. And I see Dumb and Dumber and a woman coming. And I looked at the three of them and I was like, put them in the back seat. I'm going to sit in the front seat, but I'm going, right? But I realize now I shouldn't have done that. Why was I know better, guys. So, oh, child, I know better. I know better. That was spirit saying, you don't want to do this. In any case, I forced myself, right? I get in the car. This is January, and masks are still being worn on the buses. So I didn't know these people. I don't hang out by the pool, right? And so I put on my mask in the car. And one of the guys in the back seemed to have a problem with that, and he got belligerent. And I knew some things about him through John, and I rammed him. I was like, shut the F up, you ignorant effing mother effer. I was like, you got 2 ribs cracked. You must want 2 more to be cracked. You drunken. And I just went off, right? I can't even tell you how bad it was. It got so bad that I turned around in the seat and got in his face as John was driving because he was being belligerent from the back seat. I'm not safe. I'm not safe in the front seat if you're screaming at me from the back seat. I already know I'm not safe, right? So if I'm not going to be safe, shit is going to go down. That's the one thing about me. That's the it's the crazy in me. It's the Scorpio moon. It's crazy. If shit is going to go down, we going down together, right? But you're not about to catch me, screaming and yelling, and my back is turned to you. Not happening, right? So I looked at John and I was like, you can't shut him up. These are your friends. You can't shut him up. Like, why don't you? I was like, John, it's unsafe for me in this car. Like, what the fuck? right? Eventually, the woman in the back came to my defense, and then they had to go fighting at it. But at least the heat was off me, and at least the heat was between them, and they do know each other. And I was just grateful that she had my back where John didn't, and John was driving, right? And I was like, you're not protecting me. Not because, like, just protect me. Like, it's your car. Clearly, you saw I did not start this argument. Like, why didn't you just say, what are you doing, dude? Shut up. But he would just let it go. So I got a little upset with him. So when we got to the destination, I pulled John aside and I was like, what the fuck was that? And he goes, and then I got it out my system, and he goes, do you have it out your system? And I said, yes. And he goes, we are never going to talk about this again. And then I went crazy again. I was like, who the fuck are you to tell me what we are never going to talk about again? Fuck you, fuck your mama. What are you talking about, right? I went off. Like, you don't get to manhandle me now. You didn't manhandle the man. Manhandle the man. Don't manhandle me, right? I'll cut you to your knees. Like, people don't know me. I will cut you to your knees. I've learned to be metaphysical. I will cut you. So I told you guys this, and I decided that John wasn't safe. Now remember, John is the same one that came to my house with a check for $850 with some bullshit story that he lost his ID. And if I could cash a check made out to cash for $850. Did I tell you guys this story? And I looked right at the check and I was like, no. And then he was acting shocked. He was like, no. He's like, you just have to go down to First Bank and show your ID. And I didn't even explain to him. I was like, no. And I was like, where's your ID? He's like, oh, it's a long story. I was like, well, no. And meanwhile, John has a daughter. Tell your daughter to cash this check, right? I don't know you, John. And by the way, my son can't come to me and tell me to cash a check made out to cash. My own child can't do this to me. $850 is a fucking felony. It's a felony. And in this town, they arrest first, ask questions later. Not doing it. No, it doesn't. Actually, by my stories, it doesn't. I agree with you. And so you remember me telling you about the questionable check, right? So I'm bringing up the man's character. First it was the check, then it was the car ride, right? And so after the car ride, I was like, okay, this guy is just unsafe. I have to be really careful with him. He's just unsafe. But, I don't need to be like letting my neighbors know, like, no. I will say good morning every morning. Hey, John, how you doing? I'm not mad at you. You didn't get to fuck me over. Good morning, right? Yesterday I was talking to my other neighbor. By the way, I've been here a year and a half. The only neighbor I knew was John. Now I know everybody. Oh, my God. I'm talking to my other neighbor. I like to call her Driving Miss Daisy because she's driving me crazy, right? I'm talking with her, and John comes over and talks with us, small talk. And then this other neighbor, who's a pilot, came over. And he's like, hey, guys, I'm leaving. I was like, no, you're not leaving. He's like, yeah, I'm a pilot. I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, well, you have to retire at 65. And I was like, oh, did you guys know that? Pilots have to retire at 65? Good, good. That's the best thing I've ever heard. Keep the sky safe, right? I don't want an 80-year-old pilot in my drive. No, 65 is the limit. He goes, I turned 65. This is it, right? He goes on to tell us this is his second career. He started out as a teacher, principal, became a pilot, blah, 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 blah. He's going to go back to Kentucky and be with his family and his grandkids. Makes sense, right? John, and then I hear the guy say, John, I have more things to sell, so come look at the stuff. I'm not putting two and two together. I'm not saying, oh, what you got to sell? Not thinking. I'm not even thinking the man can't carry his car, right? I'm not thinking that. I don't have time for that, right? John waits until the man leaves, and then he goes, oh, Tracey, he's selling his car. But the way he said it, it was like, ha, 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 joke's on you. And I knew right away what he was doing. And I was like, listen, John, if a car is meant to be for me, it'll be for me. He's like, oh, you can't, there's another neighbor that wants the car. He mentions her name. And he goes, do you know her? And I was like, no, why should I? But I know he's teasing me. It gets worse. He goes, he says to me, at this point, I don't know that he's like sucker punching me, right? And he goes, how much would you pay for the car? And I go, well, you know, it's an older car, but I don't see him having any problems. So I was like, I don't know, if I were to buy the car, I would pay $1,000 for it. He goes, 700. And he's happy when he tells me 700. Now, my heart sank. Because here I am trying to spend thousands on a car. Thousands. And I watched this pilot go back and forth because my back wall is the parking lot. Or this side parking lot. And then it's hilly, grass, apartments. And then there's another set of parking lots in the back. So I watched this pilot come and go. I never hear him have problems, never seen him have problems. So I know that this is a halfway decent car for 700, right? Now we're all neighbors on the same row. So John would have found out first. Why wasn't I the next person that John said? Tracey, he is selling his car for 700. You might want to snatch it up. That's not what I get. John tells, because the pilot doesn't know everybody, he's too busy working. John tells somebody on the other side of the complex. And he goes, well, Trudy is going to buy it. But and I'm just going through something in my head, right? So just bear with me. But in my mind, I'm thinking, but Judy has a boyfriend or a husband. I don't know what he is, right? And they have a car. Why would you tell someone the couple has a car as opposed to telling someone who does not have a car at all? Make it make sense. Except that he's mean, spiteful, and hates women. That's the conclusion I got. Are you serious, Rudy? Be careful with John. That check transaction is a known scam. Listen, Ruby, which I love your name, Ruby Banks. I worked in a bank. Y'all know me. I've been a jack of all trades all my life. What the hell was I gonna do taking a check made out to cash? I'm a grown ass woman. Put my name on that check. And no, I'm not about to go to the bank to cash a check for $850. I don't even know what that number was about, $850, and hand him over the money. Make it make sense, people. John, I didn't even touch the check. He showed it. I didn't even touch the check. And in my mind, I'm so upset, but I'm like, trying to calculate psychically what the fuck is going on. So I looked up at him and I was like, where's your ID? And he got frustrated with me. He's like, I just told you I have a problem with my ID. He says my ID is getting shipped in. You've been on this island for damn near 30 plus years. John is not young. John is like 70, so he might have been on the island 40 years. Where are you getting your ID shipped in from? Your driver's license. I don't have my... John drives. How you running? And I said that to him. I was like, how are you driving without a driver's license? Because that's all he would need to cash the check out of cash. He's like, I told you it's getting shipped in. Shipped in from where? You told me you were here when we used to have a Woolworths. You never left. You have to have a Virgin Island ID. You have to. I don't have a Virgin Island ID because I don't have a car yet. The minute I get a car, they're going to say to me, let's switch over your ID and I'm going to be fine. The fuck? I was like, no. He goes, no. But the way he said no, it wasn't like shock. It was like, how dare you kind of know. He was like, no. It wasn't like that. It was like, no. Like, it was kind of like you have enough intelligence to tell me no. It felt like that to me. Why am I watching 2 days later, God protects me so much? Why am I watching where this woman was a caregiver for somebody, stole her checks, and it totaled whatever the check was, it totaled to like $900, and she was arrested. And that was God letting me know, girl, do not trust John. So I appreciate you all saying that. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this guy. This guy is unsafe for me. This guy clearly thinks I'm stupid. But yeah, I do walk around kind of ditzy. I know that I walk around kind of ditzy. But I'm not stupid. Like, you guys are going to make a mistake. Like, everybody's going to make a mistake. I am not stupid. I just don't want to put the energy into intelligence unless it's psychic and metaphysical. That's all I care about. But don't look at me like I'm a goddamn dummy. And by the way, the car that John drives, he took from a little old lady. He used to go visit her, but I didn't know he had a hidden agenda because he didn't have a car, right? So he used to go visit her, so I would see him on the bus. I'd be like, oh, you coming to visit, your little old lady? And he's like, yeah, nobody takes care of her, blah, blah, blah. It turns out she does have a grandson in the house. So John was lying to me, right? He just forgets his lies. Next thing you know it, John has a car. And I was like, oh, look at you. You got a car. He goes, yeah, it's Alice's car. And so I told her, let me take the car, but I will come visit her every day. And he does. He does go visit her every day. But he stole a car. Stole a car from a little old decrepit lady. He does visit her every day. He does take her to church on Sundays. She could barely move like this. So he mind fucked the car away from her. Piece of shit. What does that mean, TLT? I don't know what that means when you say, oh, what's a nut mean? Like, I don't know what that means. Like crazy? He thought I was something Sounds like some scammer he was trying to do. He thought you were a mark. Brina, Emma says she remembers the questionable check. Right. I will tell the stories, same stories over and over. They will not change. They will not change because they are not lies. Thank you, Emma. I did tell this story already. So he's like, the car, $700. It was like teasing. 700. And my heart dropped. It did. I didn't let him see it, but my heart dropped. And I was like, oh my God, that would save me so much money. So much money. And I was just like, inside, I was like crying. And then, but I'm going to see my sister, right? So I just looked at John. I said, you know what? I'm actually going to visit my sister. And to be honest with you, any money that I carry, I want to make sure I give my sister a good time. So I probably couldn't afford the car right now anyway, right? When my neighbor driving Miss Daisy, she waits until he leaves and she goes, Tracy, she's a Leo like me, so she's shocked with it, even though she too is 90. She goes, Tracy, when don't go asking this girl Trudy about the car, because the minute she finds out that you want the car, she'll buy the car. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, I don't think the car is for me, so don't worry, driving Miss Daisy. And then she goes, if you need money for the car, I can pay for the car. And I was like, thank you. I really appreciate that. Because she could see something was wrong there. And I was like, thank you. I really appreciate that. I said, but right now, I'm convinced, right? I have this thing with cars and homes. And I think if something is meant to be yours, the energy finds itself to you, right? So I get a lot of people that's like, am I going to get this home? Am I going to get this home? And if it's not yours, like maybe count your blessings, because you never know. Like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, there could be a water flood. And look, the home you wanted to buy could be underwater. So go ahead and get disappointed, but no, you're not going to get this house. And sure enough, try as they might, which is the part that I love. They're like, I'm not listening to Tracy. Tracy, that crazy psychic. I'm going to get this house. And then they don't get the house. And then they're like, Tracy, I didn't get the house. And I was like, oh, I thought we talked about it. You weren't going to get the house. But I'll check it again. I was like, no, the house is coming. Da-da-da, boom, boom. I feel the same way about cars, right? I feel like a car will want you, and everything should be fluid. And I think that's the thing that I'm trying to say. Everything should be fluid. So John's energy is all over this car, right? And if I wind up getting the car, John's energy would be like, oh, she got the car. And then, although the pilot never had any problems, I would get the car and I would begin to have problems. I need something clean and clear of this jackass's energy. But guys, I'm really upset. I don't know if I have a right to be upset. Like, I don't know if I have the right to be upset. I think this man hates women, but he plays like the good old guy. Like this morning, I saw him and he's like, I did my good deed for the day. And I was like, oh, what did you do? Right? I'm biting, right? I was like, what did you do? He's like, I gave somebody a jump start. I'm like, good deed for the day. I was like, you and I are not going to wind up in the same pod in heaven. You're a scammer and you're alone. There's a reason for all of this. Analog. I'm going to buy you a car, Miss Tracy. I love you guys. TLT says, dang, John thought you were a nut. You're right. He thought you would believe anything. Oh, that's what a nut means. Listen, I swear to God, guys, I know how I present myself to people. I know this. I'm goofy. I'm easy breezy. I'm fun. I'm loving. I know how I present myself to people. I don't have to use intelligence all day. I don't have to prove myself to anyone anymore. I like being dizzy. I like falling upstairs. I like stopping in the middle of a conversation to pick flowers. When I go to supermarkets, when a song comes on, I start dancing. I'll be with a neighbor and then I'll start dancing with the neighbor. Driving Miss Daisy, at first she would be like, and I would still dance. And then one day she goes to me, "You're a lot of fun." I was like, right? Right? I make Miss Daisy look at the moon, but actually Miss Daisy looks at the moon too. But she came from an era where she couldn't be me. So she had to like hide those metaphysical things. And now that I'm around, she's like, "Did you look at the moon? Did you look at the moon?" I was like, "Yes, Miss Daisy." I don't call her Miss Daisy, Miss Marion. Like, "Yes, Miss Marion, I looked at the moon. Isn't it beautiful? We'll take our chairs out and we'll just look at the moon." Driving Miss Daisy is a Leo. Leos love to talk. I give her grace. This woman is 90. She is plethora of history. So we will look at the moon. I'll sit with her and she talks. And I'm a talker, but I know to give her grace to talk. Right? In any case, John also didn't know how much worse things could get for him if his play worked on you. At Emma, bad karma, juju energy. He's a wolf in plain clothing. Yeah, Emma. And what he also doesn't know, you're absolutely right. What he also doesn't know is that if they get mad at him, they're not mad right now, right? Because he hasn't done anything to me. If they get mad at him and you know who they is, he'll crack a knee. I won't have to touch him. He will crack a knee. I will not have to touch him. The only reason why I know they are not mad at him is because he hasn't done anything to me yet. Keep it up, John. Keep it up. These things, I wish you well, but you might want to stop. Thank you, and Angela. Aw. John may have that old lady sign her. There must be something else. Right. He's hanging around for more valuable things. I never even thought about that, Tiffany. One day he comes to me and he goes, "Her grandson." Like, John, don't get in the middle of a grandmother and a grandson. She gonna choose her grandson. I don't care what a piece of shit all he does is reefer. Well, the age bracket, that's all they do is reefer. I don't say nothing. I just listen to John. Her grandson, he don't do nothing. You ain't doing shit, nigga. What you talking about? I don't say nothing. I just be like, wow, wow. Mm. His vibe is disgusting, Ebony. It is. And I'm really upset because imagine if I came to you guys and I was like, "I got a car for $700. Like, that's a blessing from heaven. That's a blessing to me, right? And so last night I was so upset. I was like, I should knock on the pilot's door. But to be honest with you, I don't even know where the pilot lives. These are rows of houses, right? I don't know if he lives up or down. I don't want to knock on the wrong door. I don't want John to know that I'm now desperate for this $700 car, right? And so I'm going in my mind is like, and then I had to remember that it was eclipse energy, Mercury retrograde. And so I had to pull the steam back. I had to pull back. And unfortunately, I did call the guy that you guys saw on the video. And he too thinks I'm innocent, which is fine. But he discovered last night because I was like, I will fucking cut his tires. I was like, I will cut his tires. I was like, he is fucking with me, and I will fucking cut his tires. So he now knows that there's another side to me. I was like, I don't care. I needed to get this off my chest, and I want to get it off my way. And if you want to judge me because I'm angry, then fuck it, judge me. I don't give a shit anymore. Give a shit about none of these niggas out here. Fuck it. Kylie Lang's like, oh my God, that's me. All day dizzy, busy, missy. I love that. All day dizzy, busy. Good girl. Everybody don't have to know how intelligent you are, how smart. I don't give a shit. Laugh, motherfuckers, laugh. Shit. All fucking day, we're all being serious. I don't have time for that. I want to laugh. I want to make jokes. I want to watch the birds. You know, they screw a lot out there, these goddamn doves. I never see babies, but they do a lot of What the hell? The hell? That's the only thing that ever saves me is my discernment. That's what saves me. Left to some of these guys, I'd be a fucking prostitute in the street, drugged up. Fucking everything under the sun. Not stupid. Hi, soul sister. See, that's what I mean, cool beans. Exactly. I wasn't born and raised in New York and think I'm a not know you're a fucking scam. The fuck? I know hustlers. The best thing you can do in New York is know the street guys. Right? Because it's the street guys that tell the other street guys, let her walk by. We like her. Don't touch her. What? I wasn't shielded in New York City. You can't be shielded born and raised in New York City. I know a fucking scam when I see it. I know a fucking bum when I see it too. I know a fucking nigger when I see it too. In any case. In any case. Something better will come. I'm not going to spend not a moment's time worry about some shit. Something. So, guys, do you remember? I was going to tell you guys, and I wasn't going to tell you, and then I'll tell you now. Do you remember maybe about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, I told you God kept showing me this champagne color car? I was like, I think I'm going to get a champagne color car because God keeps showing me. And then I said gold color. Somebody else said champagne. And then I pulled up the color that God keeps showing me back over and over and over again. Like, that's an odd color to constantly pick up in other cars. Every time a car came in my mind's eye in real life, I would be looking down, walking. When I look up, it'd be a champagne color car. This went on for like a month. I finally told you guys. And so after I found out that the taxi guy that I dated, that I got the vision he was going to throw me off the cliff, committed murder, right? Because somebody was like, I was like, oh my God, I dated that guy. And they were like, you couldn't tell he was violent? And I was like, no, he wasn't violent. I don't get that. He wasn't violent. Like, because in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not crazy. I could have seen the violence. But then I said, it was a female taxi driver. And then I said, oh, wait, this one time he took me and he showed me a cliff and he was like, get out and come look at the cliff. And I was like, no. And he goes, come on, look at the cliff. And I was like, no. And then as I was saying no, I got a vision that he was going to, like, not push me, but just kind of like, okay, it doesn't really matter. And then he wound up killing somebody. And I told the taxi driver lady, I was like, this one time in band camp, this happened. And I got a vision, but I didn't get out the car. And a female, oh my God, I need my fan. Hold on. I'm dying here, people, just dying. Oh. And so I was telling the female taxi lady, I was like, yeah, there was this one time. And, now I feel like I should have known, blah, 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 right? What was the point of this? What was the point of this? You mean in California, Carmen? And so, when this happened, when I found out that this guy committed murder, and I could have potentially been pushed off the cliff, potentially, like I can't prove it now, right? Because I'm here, right? So I can't prove it, but potentially, I had a conversation with God, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think I'm safe. And I'm not going to date. I don't think I'm safe. I'm not going to date. And as much as I'm aggressively trying to date, I keep running into brick walls. So I don't know if I want to prove anything to anyone and try and date, right? And so at that point, I gave up. And I remember the point of giving up. At that point, I gave up. And I was comfortable with giving up. Like, it's too hard. And who do you trust? And is everybody going to throw me off a cliff? Like, I was like, I'm out. I just want to live a peaceful existence. I'm out. That was a Friday. And I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I needed to get plants for pots for my plants. And crazy Miss Daisy and I went to go get pots, but she decided the pots were too expensive for me. And she goes, put it back, put it back. And I was like, no, it's okay. I can get these. And she goes, put it back, put it back. And I was like, Okay, so I just put it back. Didn't matter to me if I got the pots or anything. I just figured since I was there, I would get the pots. I didn't need the pots, right? She then, without telling me, drives me to Home Depot because Home Depot has a better selection of pots that are cheaper. She doesn't tell me this. She just starts driving in the direction of Home Depot. And I was like, oh, do you need to get something from Home Depot? She goes, no, you're going to get pots. And I was like, oh. She goes, they're cheaper here. And I was like, oh, okay. We go to Home Depot. The first place had the color pots that I needed. Home Depot did not. It had every color but the color I needed. So I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, Miss Daisy is so bossy. Like, have a conversation with people, woman. But instead, the visit to Home Depot turned out to be well deserved because I was thinking about buying some lamps and I got a money tree plant out of it. And so I didn't waste the time. Like, I got something good out of it, right? And so my plants are growing and I could tell they're beginning to rot, right? The soil wasn't feeling right. And I was like, okay, now I've got to get these pots at the original place we went. And I just prayed to God. I said, let the color be there. I'll get any size, God. I need big sizes. I don't care how much they cost. Let the colors be there. And then I called this guy. The company is called Virgin Islands Uba. And it's a play on Uber, right? He goes, I am not Uber. I am Uba, the Caribbean way. So it's actually very funny. And so I called them and got in the back seat. And by the grace of God, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up these plants, pots for my plants, and then can you take me to the supermarket? And then can you take me over here to get some soup? But we couldn't find the soup. And so he took me to this place called Rosie's. So I got some of Rosie's food. But what he did was like, I thought it was gracious for his company that he started. And I was like, oh, this is very gracious. And as he's taking me everywhere, I'm like, I will definitely use his services again. Like, how kind of him. So I get back and I have to do a reading. I was kind of late for the reading because I didn't know this I thought I was going to go and come right back. But then it turns out he's like, where else do you want to go? And so he took me around and everything was for $30. And that was reasonable, right? And so I got back a little late. He didn't know I had to work and I came right back to working, right? I had a 5 o'clock appointment, but I was a little late. Thank God she wasn't mad with me. And then he texts me and he's like, you know, yada yada, I don't know what he said, yada yada, boom, boom, boom. And it made me smile. And I was like, he gave me a compliment and I was like, thank you. And I just let it go. And he gave me another text. And I realized, wait, is this guy flirting with me? Because again, Ditzy, where's Missy Ditzy? Ditzy, I don't have it inside of me to know the difference. And then he had to be very direct, right? So he's like, I would take you out sometimes. And I'm like, and I knew what I had just said to God. I was like, God, I'm not doing this with these people out here. The Caribbean men are, they got a mentality all their own. And I don't know if I can mesh well with them, right? So I'm out, right? And so when he texted that, and I was like, right away, I remember my promise that I gave God. And I was like, maybe you have to break the promise to myself. So I was just like, okay, if you want, let me know. And that's how we wound up being friends. But I just met him, guys, right? So I'm not committing to anybody. You best believe, no, I have no commitment to anybody. None of it works that way. I'm the age of Bruno. I don't have to commit to anybody. And I have sex when I want to. Period. I'm not laying down. No, no, no. Besides, when men lay down with me, they become magnets. Magnets, I tell you. They become possessive. They don't want to leave. There's something. No, no. See, you guys don't know the story of Tracey. No. They get crazy. Not like, I want to kill you, Tracey. They get like more like clingy. They get clingy. That's what happened. No, no. He doesn't know it yet. He has no clue that if he has sex with me, he's going to lose his fucking mind. I'm saving his life. He doesn't know it. I got it like that. What does everybody say? I don't act crazy. I think I actually am crazy. Me too, actually. I go to the park and hug trees. Oh, we could be friends and talk to them, talk to the trees. I know people think I'm a weirdo. Me too. You remember these stories, right, Ebony? I tell the same stories. In love, Coopings, trees have great energy. Yes, they do. Oh, by the way, for this eclipse energy, put your palm on a tree, right? You ain't gotta be all obvious about it, like, let me hug the tree. Just put your palm on a tree. That's all you need. Nobody needs, just lean on the damn tree, like, and then you could be like, give it to me, tree. Give all of it. Yes, they really do. I feel healed around the trees. Oh, I don't know what I said, but Ebony goes, what the fuck? You definitely need to go sit in the redwoods. First of all, Carmen, if you're talking about California, redwoods are my favorite trees. Hmm. Good morning, A. Walker, the sexy man's company. Oh. Seems like God has other plans. Yeah, God got jokes, Brandy. What? God, I'm done. I don't. You ain't protecting me. The angels and the saints ain't protecting me. I'm out. And God was like, get in there. So I'm telling you this whole story because what car does he show up in? What color car does he show up in? Champagne. And God kept showing me the champagne color car. And I was like, oh, no, God. Champagne? Okay. And I feel like I could be wrong. Next week, I'll tell you some bizarre story and I'll be like, and then he fucked me over. That's what I expect. But I think it was God saying, I already know this guy's going to run somebody over. I already know you are going to shut shit down. So I'm going to show you the color champagne car because you're going to meet up with this one. Blah, 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 blah. I never, thank you, Brandy. Seems like God has other plans. God got jokes. I never know when someone is flirting. I just be talking myself into it. Go out with him. I'm not getting that he doesn't push women off the cliffs. He doesn't. And then in my book club, in my tarot class, Brina will know because Brina's in tarot class. We do readings at the end of tarot every week. So they get into practice of feeling. It's not about learning the cards. Learning the cards is the easiest part. It's doing the readings. That's the hard part, right? So right away, first day, we start out doing readings. Second week, I met this guy. And so I had them read me. And I said, this guy just came along, like basically asking, is he safe? Right? And the readings were wonderful, by the way, Brina. And I really appreciate you guys because you did give me something to go on. One of the girls said, which is really funny, one of the girls, how did she put it? She said, I have it in recording because I record the classes for everyone. She said something like, I can't remember anymore, but she was like, tell him the truth, basically, right? Don't hide yourself from him. Show him your real self, right? Tell him the truth. And so it was probably the best advice, Brina. I don't know if you remember what she said. It was probably the best advice because when I date someone, I do hide myself. I stay innocent and goofy on purpose, which means they don't really get to know the real Tracey and they think I'm a pushover. So the next time he came over, I said to him, I got a couple of things to tell you. And so one of the things I needed to reveal to him was that I was a psychic, because I know Caribbean men probably wouldn't be down for it. I've never told anyone I was a psychic here, right? No one knows, not even my neighbors, right? I was like, I'm a psychic. That's what I do for a living. First thing he said was, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay. I was like, well, that went over easy. So then I told him about some of my dates, including the one that I believe almost tried to kill me, right? And so he makes a joke about it every single time, like, you dated a whole murderer. I was like, yeah, like he had a sign on his forehead that was like murderer. Now I'm thinking I could have dated several murderers, possibly. In any case, the best advice I got was to be open and honest with him. So I let him know that a lot of taxi drivers have tried to date me, and all of them have been horrible experiences. So then he made a joke one day, and he's like, "Well, I'm not taxi," and I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know you're not taxi." He goes, "I'm Uber." Whatever. He's not a cliff pusher. And I thought, oh, this is so funny. Ditto, me too. I can't get rid of them, right, Tiffany? They won't go. I'm saving his life by not sleeping with him. He doesn't know it. He's like, "Oh, Carmen, you get brought up a lot lately." And he goes, "Listen to Carmen, listen to Carmen." And I'm like, relax. I don't listen to nobody. Relax. And then I said to him, I was like, friends is a good starting point. Because I don't know what guys want. Like with guys, it's like, what's the rule? What's the rule? 3 dates, 3 weeks, and you get to boink me? No, I'm Bruno age. Bruno, I'm not 20. I don't need to be boinked. No. All right, got to be good, good. He don't want none of your smoke. Yes, trees have eyes. True story. No, Carmen. No, I'm never getting married again, ever. No. Even he said, he goes to me, he said, I'm never living with anyone ever again. And I was like, and then he goes on to explain why. And I was like, listen, I agree with you. I need my bed to myself. I don't need you. No. I mean, if you want to spend a night, that's one thing, but I'm not commingling and sharing rent. And then I don't need to find out that you like somebody else and my black ass gotta go. No, it's not happening. No. Stay in your space. I'll stay in my space, and that's it. What's noticed, Brandy? I talk too much. I don't look at the feed. Somebody goes, me too, Prina. I tried to call for tarot class. You weren't supposed to call. Carmen, you're supposed to go to the link, TraceyBrownlive.com. Go to the link, go to TraceyBrownlive.com and pay for class. That's the way it goes. And then I communicate with you immediately after that. I tend to do that as well, Kenneth says. Funny, complacent, aloof. Yes. And I come out of left field like a crazy lunatic. Right? All right. Laugh out loud. Oh, Wolverines. Hi, sweetie. I only have to kiss them. I agree. I agree. I have not even kissed him. Nope. Nope. Because I agree with you, Wolverine. You gonna pass the fuck out. So I'm saving your life, dude. I'm saving your life. You don't know. I'm saving you. So relax. Relax. Don't listen to me. My track record with men sucks. I'm too trusting. Aww. Aww. I think all of our track records with men suck. Oh, silly. All of our track records suck. No, I don't have a good track record. You know, I don't have what I do like is that I don't have abusive men like that. That I will not tolerate. So any form of abuse, you will never get me to date you again. I mean, any form. You grab my arm, you will never get me to. But other than that, I don't have the best track record. I think if I had a good track record, I would be married again already. But you know what? I'm not upset that I never got married again. If you know what I mean, but I never got. No, I'm not upset about that because I think men continue. I'm sorry, not men. Marriage contains you. And I really am a free spirit. You can contain me for maybe 8 years and I'm off. I'm off again. This has been my whole life. Maybe I'll give a place 8 years. There's an 8-year threshold. 7-year, maybe I get the 7-year itch. Some men like to change partners at the itch. I itch as to my location. That itch is real. Men don't know what they want either. And they don't know. You know how I know men don't know what they want? Because they spend their whole time with you looking for something better. Their whole time with you wanting something better. And it's like, look at me. Why can you not stay focused? Am I breast lopsided? Let me pull these babies up. Why can't you stay focused? Look at me. Look at me. Stay focused. You sleep with me, we eat, we go to dinner, and you always have this wandering eye, and you think I don't see it? I see it. I constantly see. When I see someone with the wandering eye, you're not my man. I'm not the one for you. We can still hang out. I'll still fuck you. I don't care. I'm not going to marry you. You're not about to give me, oh, I'm going to get on one knee. Please don't. Don't do that. Nope. You better have conversations with me and see if I want that. Don't surprise me. You won't get your feelings hurt. Yeah, friendships. Yeah. Especially a nice guy friend. I'm so down for a nice guy friend, right? And I don't want to feel threatened. I don't want to feel like if you take me out, I have to boink you. But then he has taken me out a couple of times, but then I returned the favor and took him out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking advantage of his money nor his time. The drama of playing games. Oh, this time next year you will be connected by the hips. No, see that you use humor when you're talking to guys. It's cute. Thank you. Yeah. Sometimes you got to see if they have a sense of humor. You know what I mean? So I pay for each class because I took your tarot class. Carmen, when did you take tarot class? How long ago? Text me. Text me, Carmen. I kissed my ex 7 years later. He won't go. I know that guy you told us about. Yes. Yes. And buys you all kinds of gifts. I know, Wolverine. You and I are similar in a lot of ways. Aw. Carmen, your track record does not suck. They don't know the blessing you are. They take your kindness as a weakness. They really do. These men be taking kindness as a weakness. Exactly. Yeah, they always try to come back, but once I'm done, I'm done. Aw, I'm here. All of this. I'm here. All of this. Look at me. Oh, yeah, yeah. When I'm right here, right here. This is the best you're gonna get. Right here. Right? Loyal. Cooks. Really good friend here. Stop looking for whatever is out there. Because you know what's funny? Because they, like, metaphysically, this is what I decided. If you don't know what you want, you attract anything, right? Dating is like Russian roulette to me, right? You just go out there and date and boom, right? You get hurt because you don't have discernment and you don't decide that as you're dating someone when they say something stupid, that's the beginning of the problem. That maybe you just say to yourself. You don't have to say it to the person. No one's asking you to argue, but you got to go back and go, I don't like what he said in the conversation. I could talk to him about it later, right? And then I could see if it happened over and over again. Like, don't force yourself to be with someone. Also, don't force yourself. I'm talking to women now, but maybe I'm talking to some men. Don't force yourself to just have a penis in your bed. I need brains, and penises do not carry brains. Penises carry feelings. Penises feel. I need brains. I need someone I can talk to. Okay? A man with the wandering eye is not your man. He's the community's man. That's so true. Community D. Oh, you want to be cousins? Dinner doesn't obligate us to sex. Men need to realize that. Right. I tell them I don't have to screw for food. Right. Because if it comes down to that, I'll still go out with you. I just rather pay for my own food. And you can't play me cheap with, like, and don't play me cheap with the restaurant. Don't play me cheap. Mm-mm. I'm not a hamburger type of gal. I'm not a hamburger and french fries type of gal. I need to know that you got some savory, um, reservoir of like savory restaurants and food. I need you to introduce me to something I've never had. I need you to say, try this. We're going to go to this restaurant. Try this. I'm going to order it because I also don't like anybody ordering my food. I'm going to order it and I want you to try this. Man, that'll make my panties drop. Food will make my panties drop. I'm telling you. I'm kidding. Am I? No, maybe. Oh my God. Oh. I can buy my own. You know what? First of all, you guys know I'm a flower type of person. When I was in California, I brought my own flowers all the time. I would have flowers in my house. I love flowers. And I thought that I would be waiting for a man to say to me, here's flowers. But men got motherfucking cheap. Men forgot to be romantic. Men know the next bitch don't need flowers. So if you're the type that need flowers, but he can go to her and not pay her flowers and she putting out, he's not gonna try and get me flowers. He doesn't have to think that way because everybody is too like, I need to get that D, get that D, get that. There's no romance. So I started just buying, decorating my house with my own damn flowers. I love flowers. I just started decorating my own house. I don't need nobody to buy me flowers. Now, interesting enough, I have not brought flowers here in the Caribbean because the damn flowers are expensive. A bouquet of flowers, they're expensive. Maybe I'll look at them again, but they're expensive. Plus, I don't have a car to go someplace. Like we were passing this place that it was called Carlos. Let me look it up. It was called Carlos Flowers. Carlos is a big name out here. Everybody's Carlos Furniture, Carlos Flowers, Carlos Flowers. Think Point. And half the people don't even have oh, there's an orchid society. Oh man, I would want to be a part of the orchid society. There's an orchid society out here. Ooh, there's a site called Flowers of the Virgin Islands. I take pictures of flowers all day. Okay, Flowers of the Virgin Islands. Oh, this is called Ginger Thomas. I know this one, flamboyant tree. There's a flamboyant tree out here that amazing flowers. So cute. Hibiscus is very big out here. Also very healthy to drink as a tea. Um, oh, I love this one. Okay, frangipanis, we have them. Water lilies. I've never seen a water lily. Oh, I've seen this the other day. Heliconia. Um, oh, these kind of oleanders. We have oleanders here. We have this other tea that's very good called Boygainvillea. Boygainvillea, doesn't matter. Hibiscus, ginger thomas, flamboyant, passion fruit flower. Oh. This one is called IX Aura. It comes in different colors. Agave's a plant or a flower? Cactus is a plant or a flower? I know flowers come from cactus. All right, I'm over it. Gardenia? Oh, that's gardenia I'm seeing out here. This is ginger? Or maybe the name of it is ginger? Or is it ginger? All right, I'm over it. I'm over it. I like tablecloths and napkins. It's elegant. You like elegance. I'm going to buy flowers today. I know you're making me jealous. I should get my own flowers too. We want men with class. I don't want no man that struggles to spend time on my level. Next, bruh. Right. I've never understood the whole man orders food and drinks for you. I know what I like, right? I absolutely love the floral district in downtown LA. I know. Oh, I could just walk the streets of the floral district and be so happy. And if you go early in the morning, like at 8, oh, you get there before all the vendors get there. All right, guys. Priestess Ifasheye is ill today. Agave. Agave is a plant. Thank you. She is ill today and is not coming on. And let's all wish her well, because I spoke to her yesterday and you could still remember what I had. It must have been something going in the air, right? Because even if something's in the air, they're still not going to tell us, right? They're not going to tell us the new version of anything that's coming out. But something was in the air because I caught it. Oh, child. And I was afraid. I was so afraid. Ifasheye caught something as well. So a couple of members of her family have it. So she's going to take care of herself. Oh, no. Hi, Sandra Joe. Oh, no. Sending healing blessings. Yes, send healing blessings to Ifasheye. So she's not on today. And then maybe it's good because it's eclipse, full moon. You're not feeling well. Like, today's not the day to come on. Hell, I debated coming on today because I was so upset about my neighbor trying to fuck me over, you little piece of shit, that I almost didn't come on today. I was just like so angry and miserable. But thank God this happened last night. And sometimes when something bothers me at night, I carry it to bed. Oh, child, thank God. Because of the eclipse, I kept passing out, getting up, working, passing out. I had to set my alarm clock. If I had an appointment, I had to set my alarm clock, wake up, do the reading, sit back on my sofa, and just be like passed out again. All day it was like this. So thank God, because of the eclipse energy, when I went to bed, I passed out. And I didn't wake up until 6 o'clock, which is great because I went to bed around 11:30. Let me see, when's the last? I'll look at the text messages. $11:18 was the last text message, so I must have been in bed by 11:30. Passed out, and I love that because when you release yourself to your bed and sleep and just let yourself go, you wake up. I was up 6 o'clock this morning like this, ready. So I was there last weekend. Oh, at downtown LA. I get there early. I saw Lisa Vanderpump's husband. He's changing though, so much homelessness. Oh, it's changing so much homelessness. I know LA's having a major problem. Sending healing blessings to Ifasheye. Thank you, sweetie. Feel better, priestess, says Tiffany Henderson. Hi, Lottie. Ah, say hi to Sir Vice, which is not his name. He's got several names. Um, say hi to Service. That's the guy with the champagne car. Hello, how are you? I'm gonna leave you up for a minute. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going. Oh, this is VI Uba. VI Uba. VI Uba, Service Johnson. But he has a Facebook page that says VI Uba. VI Uba. I talked about you earlier. Sending love to the priestess. Thank you, Lottie. Nothing for lunch. Come get me for jump. I know what you meant. Come get me for jump. All right. Let me see what that's like. All right. I'm gonna get up out of here, guys. Or should I? Wait. Before I get up out of here, let's see the CNN. Wait, that was wrong. CNN, the 5 things. I love my daily therapy sessions. Oh, Miss Tracy, you're healing all of us. Oh, one video at a time. 5 things you need to know for Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. Oh. Okay. 5 things you need to know for Cinco de Mayo. Ukraine, Proud Boys, Serbia, Supreme Court, Kentucky Derby. Yes. Has anybody watched the Kentucky Derby? Today is real Beltane, is it? You can light a candle, but no magic. Okay, today's Beltane. It's not May 1st. This is May 5th is the real Beltane? All right. Ukraine, the head of Wagner. Guys, is Ukraine racist? Can anybody let me know if Ukraine is racist? I don't know. I'm asking for a friend. Is Ukraine racist? Can anybody answer that? Yes. Carmen, I know. I got to do a reading on. Thank you. This is one of my sayings. When all else fails, go Zen. When all else fails, go Zen. Today is a go Zen day. It's Zen. It's when you ask that's so funny. I know, right? I need to know these things. God dang it, yes. Yes, it is. Proud Boys. 4 members of the far-right Proud Boys have been found guilty of seditious conspiracy by a jury in Washington, D.C. I want to know how many years they get for conspicuous conspiracy, right? Because a black man has something in his car that's blocking whatever. He gets stopped by the car and he gets death. So I want to know how many. Oh, there's a black guy here. Wow, idiot. So, a 5th person was found not guilty. Look at that. All right, I'm over this. Serbia. Cinco de Mayo is not a Mexican holiday. What? No one in Mexico celebrates May 5th? Where the hell did we get it from? Did we get it from Cesar Chavez then? Where did California get it from? Doesn't really matter. Oh, if this whole country celebrates Cinco de Mayo. How is that not a Mexican? I don't even want to know. Somebody better give me the history on Cinco de Mayo. A 21-year-old gunman suspected of killing at least 8 people in Serbia on Thursday has been arrested after a massive manhunt. Why am I getting Serbia news? CNN, why am I getting Serbia news when we have our own Atlanta shooting? Make it make sense, CNN. I mean, I know you got rid of Don Lemon, but I really think you need to get rid of some of your people behind the scenes because this is ridiculous. Why am I getting Serbia news? All right, I'm over it. This is why I know they would fire me if this were a real job. And it is. It's my job. I am your official CNN correspondent on YouTube. I'm unofficially yours. There. Supreme Court. Top Senate Democrats are pushing for new ethics rules. In the wake of a publication report that revealed a GOP mega donor paid the school tuition for Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas' grandnephew. You guys do realize I'm going to do a reading on this, but this is going to be one of the easiest readings. He is screwed. I'm wondering if he's going to have to step down. That's the first thing. But is he going to get arrested? I can't wait. I cannot wait. We're going to do the Clarence Thomas dance. Remember, because of Clarence Thomas, sexual harassment changed what workers could do in a workplace in terms of making women their freaking property. Thank you, Clarence Thomas, you weirdo. Justice did not report the financial assistance the child he helped raise on his annual disclosures, according to report in the latest revelation, raising ethical questions around the High Court. All right. They're just waiting for Dianne Feinstein to return from an illness. Yes, Emma, you do remember that. Yes, yes. They're going to have to restructure the Supreme Court. What is this? Sorry, guys. Just responding some stupid comments on IG. Americans look for any holiday to drink. This is so true. This billionaire saw the Supreme Court judge, so they said they'll go from 9 to 13. They said that? Good. That was after Brett and Amy got appointed. Good. Beltane is about 6 weeks after Ostara, Easter. Officially, May 1st is Beltane, but these festivals are supposed to be set around the lunar and sun cycles. Okay. You're speaking word about my head, Wolverine. God, he needs to go anyway. Yes, he does. All right. Let me see what else is going on for my job. Oh, Kentucky Derby. Now, I don't know about you guys, but at the age of Bruno, there was a certain type of TV that we had, and this was before TV Guide. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Organizing themselves, wrap, ran their minds and won. And that was designed by, okay. Sorry, guys. Just got a lot to say. This is still over Ebony K. Williams. I commented something and people are responding. You know what I've noticed though? No, everybody that's making a comment, they're not having comebacks with this whole Ebony K. Williams. They're not having good comebacks. They're not explaining themselves well enough for any woman to believe them. And so there's a shift in life, guys. It's okay if you don't see it yet, but I see it just in their conversations in writing. Like you're trying to defend something that's in defend, like you can't defend it, but you're defending it, but even you know you're not making sense. So, and I also found, at least with the Ebony K. Williams post, the men aren't so angry. They're all trying to justify behaviors that doesn't work, but the anger's not there. And I really appreciate that the anger's not there, guys, because I can have a great conversation with you, but just don't bring the anger on, right? Again, because I'm a native New Yorker, so you put the anger on, I'm a native New Yorker. You're gonna make a mistake, right? And so, especially in texting, because like texting comes out differently, right? So if I text you back, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. So chill. And I noticed that they've all been kind of chill. They've all been trying to explain to me what they are going through. And I'm like, I got you, but this is why. So we're having some healthy conversations under the Ebony K. Williams post in the shade room. But this conversation needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. So I know Ebony is getting a beating, and I want to support Ebony true and true. But I also think she might be the final catalyst in getting these conversations out in the open. And Ebony, I have to thank you then. I don't want you to get a beating, a verbal beating, because I do believe you were set up. I think you were set up for your pretty. I think you were set up because you're a lawyer. I think you're set up, you were set up because you're educated, right? I think you were set up because you stood up and out. And that is a feeling that Ayanya could never understand. Like that's a feeling inside of her she could never understand. She could never give herself that much grace to be proud that she succeeded regardless. And yet Ebony's coming out cocky, not caring. She's like, this is me, this is me. She's not asking for permission. You, Ayanya, asked for permission and then grew inside of that permission. And I wanted to add this. And when Oprah got ready, Oprah stole your style. What the fuck do you think Super Soul Sundays is? That's you, Ayanya. So still she took from you. Sorry if you can't notice it, but you don't get to put Ebony down that has the right trajectory in her life to be a perfect example for women. Oh, child. Commercialism is Cinco de Mayo. I never knew that. I also heard that, says Brina. What? She's talking about Clarence Thomas. She's talking about Cinco de Mayo. Tracy, I thought you did a reading a couple of years ago and the Supreme Court would be expanded. Yeah, I did. America looks for holidays to drink. Oh, Clarence is in trouble. You know they're going after Clarence, right? They got Trump, right? Dominion won the vote. Giuliani is on the Trump alignment, right? Clarence Thomas and his wife, they're next. They're next. Imagine a Supreme Court judge getting arrested. We're going to have, you know what? We're going to have a Clarence Thomas Day, the day that man gets indicted. What? Yeah, some people respond just to respond. Yeah, but most people respond angrily. And I'm surprised that anger isn't coming out. They're trying to explain themselves. And I prefer that. I can have a great conversation with you if you're like, well, Tracy, what about this? And I can have so I'm finding them having conversations, not the normal male anger that is constantly on the feed. I mean, the best thing that ever happened was Kevin Samuels dying. After he called women fat and he died with a fat girl. What the hell? What the hell, Kevin? You sneaky, you had a sneaky link that was an overweight woman? What? All right, I'm over it. Kevin, wake up, Kevin. Kevin, don't do this to me, Kevin. Kevin! It was like a soap opera. Did you guys? All right, I'm over it. Ebony can handle it. She's probably been dealing with misconceptions all her life. No, don't ever believe that a woman can handle it. It is hard being a lone woman out there with educated views and a direction that no one else can fathom for themselves. No, Ebony cannot handle this. Don't think that. That makes her a strong Black woman. We're not trying to make her a strong Black woman, soul sister. No, it's not fair. We have to protect Ebony. We have to let Ebony know I've gone through what you've gone through. You're not standing alone. I feel that men state their preference all the time. Hello, they do. Thank you, Brandy. However, I'm not mad or bothered by what she said. She shared her truth. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. She doesn't want a bus driver. And it's okay. She said nothing wrong. People have their own preference. Thank you, Kenneth. She said nothing wrong. Karma's after Clarence. I know. Karma's like, Clarence. Clarence. Hi. Clarence, I'm going to just sit right here. Okay? What you doing, Clarence? What you doing? More corruption, Clarence? Aww. Do a reading. I will. I'll do a reading on Clarence Thomas. I just got to get through the horoscopes. Wait, why is Cinco de Mayo a holiday? A Mexican co-worker organized for us to have tacos at work today. Who cares? We're Americans. Eat your goddamn tacos and drink. I don't care. But I was shocked to find out is Mexico doesn't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Did it start in California? California like to make up shitty holidays. And I mean shitty in terms of like making up anything. I didn't mean Cinco de Mayo was shitty. I need rehab. I gotta go to rehab. I need to go to rehab. My mouth is too much. I need to go to rehab. I'm sorry for what I said about Cinco de Mayo. I will go to rehab and I will learn to speak better for the future and be more sensitive to others and others' culture. And I will be attending rehab to learn how to be a better person. That's my disclaimer every time I say something fucked up. Anita Hill warned us. She did. Integrity. We all knew he was a raccoon. We all knew it. That's why every single job had to have a video. You got to sign papers. I worked in HR. You got to sign papers that you got the pamphlets. At one time it was videos, and then they were like, just give them pamphlets, but they got to sign a piece of paper that goes in your work file that you accepted information. At the time it was sexual harassment. They have changed everything to fall under one umbrella of harassment. Wolverine says, Europeans don't need an excuse to drink. As far as Brits, it's Tuesday every day. Tiffany goes, Cinco de Mayo. Just bring on the fajitas and the margaritas, and I'm celebrating. You're excited about seeing everyone in New York, Tracy. I'm going to Cali first, and then I'm going to stop over in New York. Yes, sisterhood. She has the right to choose who come into her life. No bus drivers. That's okay. Every woman should have her preference, and no one needs to get mad and attack because she has a preference. I'm shocked. I think it's time for these conversations, and my prayer for Ebony K. Williams is that this becomes her platform. That's my prayer for her. But to tell you the truth, I might do a reading on her too. She's a celebrity now, so I could do a reading on her. See where she's going since this conversation has been brought up. All right. We have spent 2 hours talking about everything. I love you. And thank you. Happy Cinco de Mayo. If you want a reading with me, you know what to do. 213-458-7408. You know what to do. 213-458-7408. And you guys help me. I'm very grateful and honored for your presence in my life, because you guys helped me when I had to tell you the story about my neighbor, John, and the whole car situation. You guys helped me feel so much better. So you guys keep saying I help you. You guys help me too. Of course we support her, says Soul Sister. I'm just stating she's not losing any sleep over this nonsense. She better not, Soul Sister. She better not. I don't care. She better not lose no sleep. She has awakened people. People need to be woken up. And I see what you mean by what you said. I apologize. I see what you mean. She ain't losing sleep over this. Exactly. I wouldn't. I would be laughing right now. I'd be like, I started a revolution. We gotta start a revolution. You know it. All right, I'm over this. I love you guys. Thank you for clarifying, Soul Sister. I'm glad I stayed on. Hit the like button. Like me. Love, like. Ooh. Okay, goodbye. Bye, guys. I gotta find it first.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.